Today's an excellent cash gang day, considering a lack conviction for ups or downs. It was an okay day to play the volatility, but probably not a great day for entering longer positions. Yeah, and we'll see how this carries out into tomorrow. Ding ding. So, got a bit of distribution going on here on the upside test of 4263 on futures. This is a slight breakout from the uptrend. We'll see if it persists into tomorrow morning. There's quite a lot of put interest at 4250, although most of it is sold. It still acts as a resistance to a continued upside move. So we'll see if that resistance, which is, and this is roughly 4250 up here, a little higher, but we'll see if that resistance is enough to reject this and drive it back down toward the 4200 range. It may or may not be. I would say that if we open above 42.25 tomorrow, we're likely to continue to see upside into Apple's earnings tomorrow night. Dixie back down on the day. Actually, most of the day's gains wiped out on that. Yields just rocketing down over the last 2 days. We've seen pretty substantial moves in yields to the downside, especially the 10 and 5 year. But we're also seeing, the two now substantially below the projected federal funds rate. We're even seeing the 6-month kind of just come in line with the federal funds rate. So some expectation there in the bond market that, the Fed is done raising rates. Which could end up being a surprise next month. Correlation has moved back roughly to the middle range of last week. And we see, obviously volatility dropping significantly and VIX down back below the contract in front. And some of that effect is going to be from the VIX expiration today. And that might tighten up a bit, but we on the 1 hour here we can see that the forward return on VIX yield has moved back negative, roughly negative 2.7%, and the yield curve has moved in the opposite direction. We're probably the most extended we've been since early October. Now we could see this, just snap right back, especially if bond shorts come back in. Some of this may be action on the yen. If we look at the yen carry trade swap, that's moved down in line with the 10-year yield on the US side, and then the Japanese 10-year yield has continued to move up, and I now believe is at, so roughly about where it was, 9.5 or 0.956. Not quite above the threshold yet, but getting close. And that reaction may be just the opposite reaction on the US 10-year in order to moderate the spread there, right? So we're seeing the 10-year Japanese bond move up rapidly. We're seeing the US 10-year move down. Bond volatility, on the other hand, is obviously dropping with yields lowering. And generally, bond volatility down, correlation down, markets up, right? Because we're going to see a stronger push into that dispersion trade on the equity side. So if this trend persists for however long, we can expect more and more interest to pick up long equity. Now, this could be 2 weeks, it could be a week and a half, it could be up until the next Fed meeting. We'll see how far it carries. We'll see if it even persists. Yields could bounce back really quickly, especially because we still have just a pause scenario. So, this may already be overextended on the bull side. Am I looking at Tesla? Is this a strong bounce on 200? It's a bounce back to 200. I would say you could maybe confirm the bounce on a break of 207.75, 207.50. Probably right in the range it's testing right now. So yeah, I mean, if you wanted to go long Tesla, I would probably wait until you can confirm the bounce, and then, you're looking at your next resistance, the upside at about 216 on the long-term trend. Actually, Fubo over 250 for earnings. Maybe. Their earnings are Friday, right? Morning? We'll see. The Russell didn't do so great today. And it's been doing well the last few days. It's probably a little bit overbought. So we may not see the best performance out of the Russell tomorrow, especially if we have kind of a flat day and we get a lot of repositioning. As far as the breadth in this pump, not great. Most of this tech side, right? Yes, up 103, right? But RSP only up 34 basis points into close. whereas Nasdaq moved up 175 basis points. So I would say almost all of this is like QQQ or Mag 7. Did you cut your Netflix puts? The ones I could, yeah. On the break of 418. I still have my put spreads open though, but the straight puts got cut earlier. Mag 7 pumps never last, I hope. Well, going into Apple earnings, they might, so be prepared for that tomorrow. And remember, there's still Vega risk at 42.50 that hasn't been de-risked at all. Not significantly, so that's still a target for short put sellers on the upside. And we're not there yet. TLT had a special dividend today, which may have helped it pump. Maybe. Might have shaken some shorts off. In that case, they'll be back. All right. Thank you guys so much. I'll write up more tonight once we have a little better look at the options positioning. And I will see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Later, everybody.